Sasori the puppet master and Deidara the terrorists, technically. Who wins between these two characters if they were to fight each other in an all-out battle? That is the battle I have for y'all today. Like, share, and subscribe, as well as comment down below on any thoughts you have about this video. Now, let's jump straight in and start talking about the physical attributes about these characters. So we'll start small. We'll start with physical strength, right? So in terms of brute physical strength, these two characters don't have a lot of physical strength feats. I mean, to some extent, they're both long-range fighters, but I am slightly leaning on Deidara being physically stronger, because there was this kind of moment where he kind of clashed with Team 10, and that was obviously kind of impressive. But to be honest, it's a bit tricky to give it to any one of them in terms of physical strength. They don't really show many physical strength feats. But then in terms of speed, well, we actually do kind of know who's faster between the two. Since Deidara was not just able to keep up with Gaara, QB Enhanced Naruto, all of Team 10, but he was also able to actually keep up with a heavy Sasuke. And that is insane in my opinion. The reason why that's really insane, I'm just gonna clear up. I'm not saying Deidara is as fast as heavy Sasuke before anyone gets angry or something. I'm not saying he's as fast as Sasuke. I'm just saying he was somewhat able to keep up with Sasuke, and at this point, this version of Sasuke was faster than the version of Sasuke who absolutely blitzed Team 7, which included Sakura. Now, Sakura was someone who was somewhat able to keep up with Sasori's level of speed. Yes, Sasori was obviously faster than her, and yes, she did have slight assistance from Grandma Chio, but many times she was actually able to keep up with Sasori's speed by herself. And then she gets blitzed by Sasuke, and then he gets more powerful, and then he fights Deidara, who is somehow able to kind of dodge quite a few of his attacks and somewhat keep up with his levels of speed. So in terms of speed, I'm obviously giving it to Deidara. And then in terms of durability, well, I'm also gonna give it to Deidara, primarily because puppets aren't always that durable. Yeah, Hiruko was pretty durable, but every one of Sasori's puppets were one-punched by Sakura, and that's not just like Hiruko and the third Kazekage's puppet, but also Sasori himself as a puppet was absolutely one-punched by Sakura, and I feel like she's just not doing the same thing to Deidara, regardless of how physically strong she is. And I mean, we do kind of see a bit more durability feats from Deidara that should imply that he is technically the more durable in general. So yeah, in terms of durability, I'm giving it to Deidara. Now let's get into hand-to-hand combat or martial arts, just the baseline of taijutsu. And in this aspect, I'm going to give it to Sasori, because Deidara never actually fights in hand-to-hand combat. He is a full-on long-range fighter. Sasori to some extent also is a bit of a long-range fighter, but Deidara is a full-on long-range fighter. And Sasori does use hand-to-hand combat whilst fighting with his puppets, so technically he should know it and should be better than Deidara in that aspect. But to be honest, majority of the fight they are going to be keeping up quite a far distance from each other, because that just seems to be how they fight majority of the times. Anyway, moving on to the last category, and that is power and like the ninjutsu and all that. And I have to be honest, both these characters are really powerful. I mean, Hiruko had a lot of different weapons, all laced with poison, just like the rest of Sasori's weapons. They all just laced with poison, which is obviously dangerous even to Akatsuki members and many more other characters, obviously. And that's obviously really dangerous. And then the third Kazekage's puppet with his Iron Sand is absolutely insane, as it was considered like the most powerful thing in the Sand Village, and it destroyed the Akatsuki hideout and just was absolutely dangerous and powerful. And then you get the 100 puppets, which were apparently able to take out an entire country, and you get Sasori himself as a puppet who has the ability of using both water and fire elements, and with water can kind of cut through like almost anything. And yeah, he's just generally powerful with a lot of different abilities. And again, all of his weapons are laced with deadly poison. On the other hand, you do have Deidara, the same person who knocked out a tail beast with an explosive, nearly blew up the entirety of the Sand Village, nearly killed Team 10 and Team 7 with a powerful explosive that they only survived because of Kakashi's Kamui. And then obviously showed a whole bunch of different explosives when fighting against Sasuke. The amount of explosives Deidara has are also really insane, and they are really dangerous and destructive because Deidara's basic C1 explosives are so deadly and destructive and can cause a massive explosion that can destroy many of Sasori's puppets and maybe even some of the more powerful puppets that Sasori has. And then with the C2 dragon, he's even more dangerous, more powerful, and even faster in the sky. And then obviously you got C3 and C4, with C3 being the explosive that was kind of almost able to take out an entire village, and C4 being an explosive that can kill someone at a cellular level. And that's just mental. That's just absolutely insane. Now this is a bit tricky because both of them have an insanely large arsenal and both of them have kind of one-shot wins, with Sasori having his poison and Deidara having C4. But Deidara is far more destructive than Sasori is. He has a slightly larger chance of surviving against Sasori's attacks because of his superior speed than Sasori has of surviving his, because he just has no way of surviving against C4 or C3. So just for that, I'll give it to Deidara. But now ultimately, who wins between these two characters if they were to actually clash in an all-out battle? Well, I believe the winner is Deidara. Now, I could go into a long explanation of why exactly I think Deidara wins this battle, but I think the simplest way of saying it is just saying that Deidara is much faster than Sasori, Sakura, and Grandma Chio. Now, Grandma Chio and Sakura were able to dodge nearly all of Sasori's attacks, only being hurt nearing the end of their battle. That's the only time Sasori actually hurt them, and Deidara being leagues ahead of them in terms of speed, as he could keep up with the heavy Sasuke. He should be able to dodge majority, if not all, of Sasori's attacks, more or less all of Sasori's attacks. And the fact that he can fight from range and then kind of send these explosives to do all the dirty work for him. And also there's no real way Sasori is going to be able to escape or tank C4 or C3. There's just no way he's going to be able to do that. You could say he perhaps uses the Iron Sand to protect him, but I think Deidara should be able to find a way around that, given that he did find a way around Gaara's Sand. He's just smarter. And then there's just C4, and there's just nothing Sasori can technically really be able to do, with Deidara's just superior power and way greater speed and durability. I think just Deidara must win this battle. Sasori will really struggle to actually take Deidara out, even with the army of puppets he actually has. Deidara being superior in terms of speed, it would allow him to evade all of them and then just take Sasori out from the source, finding a way to attack him from behind or just something like that. Deidara should definitely take this battle, regardless of what he actually said about Sasori being more powerful. The feats just do not support that fact, and Deidara should take this battle. Now, I'm sure many people got a lot of comments and thoughts about what I've just said. It's completely understandable. If y'all do have those comments and thoughts, I can leave them down below. I'd love to see them. This is MC Info with another MC Clash. I'm out.